What's up, Kaijudo Duel Masters? This is Poji Force, bringing you a video duel from Sunday, May 12th, 2013. This was a four-man tournament event, double elimination, because most of our players were in Wisconsin on that weekend. So it was just me, my opponent, Jacob, Nick Gray, and Nathan Bond in this event. Jacob is on the left with the purple mat and sleeves, and I'm on the right with the red sleeves and the Spellgrounds mat. Jacob was playing Blurple to match with the whole purple theme going on over there. And I was running Dark Saberbolt, which did really well for me all weekend that weekend. I couldn't go to tournaments this past weekend because I was attending my sister's graduation in Charlottesville, so I could not go to events this past weekend. But I still have plenty of videos to show you from this tournament. So this will be what I'll be uploading over the next few days until the pre-release event comes. So I got to go first, started with the Root Trap. He started with the Bone Blades. These first few turns are fairly uneventful. And on turn 3, Jacob finally has himself a play with the Aqua Seneschal, which actually isn't that useful anymore because the aggression that it requires usually gives the Dragon and Control decks a much needed edge. So it doesn't see a lot of play anymore. I Repinso because I don't have the Bone Blades, and trying to get to that turn 6 when Puppet starts being viable. He plays the Gloom Hollow and comes in with the Seneschal, so he can draw a card. Just because Seneschal doesn't see a lot of play anymore doesn't mean it's a bad card. So I finally got the Bone Blades, but not till after he got to break a shield and draw. 2 for Cyber Trader. Discard the Death Smoke. Death Smoke in this particular matchup isn't very useful for either side. 3 for Emperor Neuron because he runs evolutions and I run evolutions in fast attackers. Typically, you play Death Smoke to deal with the huge threats that aren't fast attackers. So I put out the Tetsuer in the Unchained, which has been a really good card for me in this deck. It still serves its purpose because it can banish a lot of lower level creatures that could still be very aggravating. Sadly, did not have an answer to the Neuron, so I have no choice but to just let the Neuron take another shield. I do get the Bone Blades, and I choose the Gloom Hollow, so that because I know that because of Tetsurin's ability to untap after it wins battle, I can kill the Neuron and then continue forward. At this point, I start pushing my aggression because he's wiped out most of my shields already. So I got 9 mana. I Death Smoke the Cyber Sprite. Then I'll attack the Neuron and kill it. Then I'll untap it and attack again to double break. And I decided on this day I was going to be special and start from the outside, work my way in. Now I pre-watched this duel, and here not Nathan, but Jacob kind of accidentally cheats. That he forgot to discard when he drew from that Cyber Trader. But he goes in with another Neuron. And I go in with the Infernus the Awakened, which is a huge deal against Blurple because Blurple is just Blurple's creatures. Very few of them are 5,000 or above, and those that are evolutions from things that aren't. So when you're dealing with an empty field like this, Infernus is like impossible to deal with and let like you can't do anything against Infernus without first dealing with Infernus. So he has to have the Terror Pit or the Death Smoke. And given the fact that he's struggling right now, he obviously does not have that immediate answer. That's part of the benefit too of rushing to 9 mana with the likes of Reap and Sow, because Infernus, once he goes out against certain decks, he just really holds things down. And the Bulltail Dragon, just to ensure my victory, 3 really big dragons out in play, shuffling up for round 2. I did not see any of the Sabertooth that game, which was unfortunate. Or the Skull Shatters. Jacob mentioned that he was actually terrified of Skull Shatter, because I think his hand was like 5 or 6 cards at that point. And I attacked with the Infernus first, so that way, in case that was a Terror Pit, he would have to pick the Tetsurian, so that way he could not. If, for example, if for example he was able to attack, if he was able to survive the turn, he could summon creatures if it hit Infernus. So I attack with Infernus first. Attack order is very important. And we had Bar Rescue. Oh no, it wasn't Bar Rescue. It was something like Bar Rescue in the background. Uh, don't know what it was called. It was something about restaurants. We talk about it. And I'm thinking towards the end of the week when I've finished uploading the videos from this tournament, I'll do a deck profile, because again, I did really well with this deck that weekend in both tournaments. So I'm going to try to upload a deck profile of the deck that I used that weekend. It's not going to be relevant for very long because again, the new set comes out this weekend and I'm already planning on building something extremely different. So he got to go first this turn. Finally drawing the Skull Shatters, but turn 1 they aren't doing much for me. Turn 3 for Logo Scan. And I'm taking some precautions here going in with the Gloom Hollow. And he Death Smokes it. Or, I'm sorry, Bone Blades it, which is fine. I'd rather him Bone Blades that than Bone Blades the next card I put out, which is the Razor Hide. Because it's bait for the Sabertooths, and he can charge mana for me. But then he makes me worry because he puts out that guy, Cyber Trader, which is, as we all know, is Neuron bait. He's thinking what he's going to discard here. And he also puts out a Cyber Sprite. Now, I'd be perfectly happy attacking if he blocks with the Cyber Sprite because it means charging mana and it means killing one of his bait cards. But I'm afraid of attacking him, letting it through, and then playing a Neuron and just plussing all over the place. So, I choose not to attack. Ends up being a mistake, as you'll soon see. Because he just Bone Blades it. And he goes in with the Cyber Trader. And I get a Tornado Flame off the Cyber Trader, and I decide not to play it. Because I got a better card in my hand, and it seemed rather pointless to play Tornado Flame when I could charge it and Barrage. Tornado Flame is an interesting tech in that it deals with Herald, and it actually deals it's another option to Blurple because all of the big evolutions in Blurple are 5,000 power. It's not particularly useful against Control or Dragons, but it's still usable. And I Unchained the Cyber Sprite. Unchained again, really good card, especially against Blurple because none of its blockers can really stop it. And nearly all of its creatures are weak to it. So I Bone Blades the Seneschal because I don't know if he's going to be playing any evolutions, and I don't want him drawing cards or breaking any more shields for that matter. That's also important. But now he's got the Medusa to banish the Tetsurian, and he goes for a shield. Now I'm at 8 mana right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just putting all the Pricklebacks in mana because at this point, Sabretooth just isn't a major player. But I got Infernus out, so unless he has the Death Smoke or the Terror Pit or the follow-up Medusa, he loses. And it's actually smart of him to not attack with the Medusa because he knows once I kill it, he's not going to be able to play another one. So I'm digging for trying to find a way to get rid of the Medusa. And I don't get it, so I just go on in, try to triple break. He's casting the Dark Return out of his
He's keeping the Medusa out because if I kill it,
not sure what he got back.
can't evolve into another
I
Medusa.
think he was probably Neuron. In the end, it doesn't matter because he still can't kill that Infernus.
I didn't play a single Sabretooth in either game.
So that's the match.
I didn't get my
That's mine.
I had a Sabretooth in my hand that I could have played the following turn just in case he killed it.
This is my other.
There's the other Infernus. There's another Sabretooth. So that was the match, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. It was a powerful 2-0 for the Dark Saberbolt deck. So hope you enjoyed. Again, there's more videos to come. Stay tuned and see you later.